I think they've been on and off a few times throughout his career. Last start, second behind Blazing Boots, who got up on his inside. He sort of hit the lead fairly soon, probably about 350 out there at Doomben. And then he was running in and out again. And Blazing Boots came to beat him quite comfortably in the wash-up. So the Winkers are back on again. So you just got to trust that he has a fair dinkum dig. He gets all the other positives there, Ormond and Gate 1, so there's plenty to like about him today.
Number 4 is Rocked. He's trained by Chris Mean, Mark Duplessis in the saddle, and look at him, Max. He's platted all up. He looks like he could be on the Curragh in Ireland.
Yes, he's looking in great form. And his trainers, Chris is dressed up to the nines. He's got a 3-piece suit on, so the expectation is high. And it was a good performance last start at Ipswich. There's only a nose in it, getting up to beat Goldie Luck. I just think the alley, I'd have been more confident had he drawn a bit of a better gate.
Okay, number 5 is Bay Street. Marcus Wilson trains with Sammy Collett.
Yeah, he's up to his right distance and even beyond this trip today. The 2 runs back have been good enough to give him a chance. He will continue to find the line strongly.
Love You Anytime is a $21 chance. Pat Duff, Boris Thornton.
It probably shouldn't really be at that price on his last run. He does bob up every now and again, this fellow, and his last start was the third at Doomben behind Wolf Moon, only beaten a length and a half. So if you're going a little bit wide, he's pretty much a must for first fours.
Parallel is a $6.50 chance. Chris Waller, Damien Thornton.
Yeah, he was good last preparation, and I don't know what happened at his last run before the break. But prior to that, his form was good. So he's had a good spell, and his first up run, good at Doomben. I think up to this distance, second up is spot on for Parallel. Gets a nice soft time of it here.
This Is So is a 9-year-old trained by Dan Edwards from Coffs Harbour with CJ Graham.
Yes, he's been battling a little bit of late and not getting any younger.
Rob Heathcote trains number 9, Safelt, with Taylor Marshall.
He finished at the rear last start behind Aqua Alda here last Saturday week. Sat back in the field. It was fast run. He was entitled to run on, but he didn't. So you'd have to say disappointing, but is back to the Wednesdays today.
Johnny Holcomb trains number 10, DAULAT Thai PANAZIZ, Sean Cormatt.
Yes, his win strike rate is 1 in 10, and he needs to snap a long run of outs, this fellow. So maybe a place chance at best. He was okay last start on the Gold Coast Poly.
11 is the Love Rocket from the Jason Edwards stable with Andrew Spinks.
I think is the good roughie here at $20, the Love Rocket. She has one here and ready to peak today, being fourth up. Last start, they actually went forward on her, and she was good. It was She's a Firecracker that won it, and she kept whacking away and was only beaten 3/4 of a length after being in the breeze, whereas She's a Firecracker had a fairly soft time of it. So, look, if they go forward with the Love Rocket here, I expect it to run really well.
And 12 is Brave Boy. He's trained by Christos Centilis with Luke Tarrant.
Yes, last start, Dolby winner in Class 2 company. Christos is pretty good with these stayers that he gets. And this might be a little bit too rich, though, but can run the distance.
Very nice.
With these stayers that he gets, and this might be a little bit too rich though, but can run the distance.
Money for the top two here. Kokonotsu, your favourite, $2.20 into $1.95. But equally, Endorphins, Maxi, $5 into $4.20, now $4.40.
Yeah, I'm with her. Endorphins. The map looks really good. So I've got her clearly on top here of Parallel. I've got Kokonotsu there. Look, he gets every opportunity to win this, and he needs to get that strike rate up a little bit. Those winkers are back on him again today. Try and keep him straight. And as you say, there was an excuse last start in that he probably hit the lead too early there at Doomben, but he'll get the timing spot on today. Putting in number 11 as well, the Love Rocket is my good roughie here, 273 and 11. And time and effort, Bernie with that horse of Chris Meehan's Rocked. He's obviously put a lot of time into this horse. He presented beautiful in the yard, and there was a nibble. Just having a look at the QOP. Now, just had a little bit there, $11, $12, $13. But felt that from an awkward gate, if he had any luck at all, could be in the finish somewhere.
Well, I should just be tipping what you're tipping, Maxi, because you're on fire today. However, I like Kokonotsu, so I am going to stick with him. He gets, I think, everything in his favour here today other than a real bunny in the race. So whether he has to take that up, maybe so. But I think the big kick for him is 1,800 and almost 50 metres versus the mile of last time.
Yeah, you're right about that because he could lead here. I think they'd rather a bunny for sure.
I'm sure.
But
you've got to do what you've got to do.
Yeah, a roughie might want to try something different and take it up. It could be an advantage to be in front.
Yeah, that's right. Endorphins next best, and then I've gone Love You Anytime and Parallel. Richard?
Thank you, Bernie. Yeah, all the actions that you've already mentioned, not much more to add. Most of the bets now are Kokonotsu, very heavily backed here. I think they're hoping Jimmy Orman can start reeling in the leaders in the Jockeys Challenge. Barrier 1, big advantage, been very heavily backed. The boys are still holding firm at the $1.90, but there's been a lot of money for it. It's been the best back runner. Endorphins just trickling back out, but it's already a bad way with the boys in the book. They're the only two, really, that the punters have settled on here. The Chris Waller Galloper Parallel has been a big drifter. Bernie, it's all about the three.
Yeah, it is indeed. So we'll see if he can strengthen up a little bit here today. He is sort of typical of the Morris breed, Max, in that he's sort of, quite finely built. He's not, a big, bulky, strong horse by any means.
No, and he's just turned 4, and I think they're a maturing breed for sure.
Definitely.
So we'll see how he goes today. He should be afforded every opportunity to win today, Kokonotsu.
Here's David Fowler.
They've sprinted home, and this race was another case in point, the name dropper race. 1:24.84, home in 34.58. So they ran 50 and change for the first half mile. So it's pretty hard to make ground when they're going those sort of pedestrian sectionals. Now we're down to 3 out of line. Rocked, Seafeld, and Love You Anytime. Last look at Tab. $1.95 Kokonotsu, $4.80 Endorphins. Parallel got right out to about 8 or 8.50. It's back to 7, so a late surge there, really late, in fact. 2 out now. Rocked and Seafeld. They'll come up to wide gates. Rocked has been kept fresh since winning at Ipswich last time out. It was a good run here at Eagle Farm the start before in a Saturday event. Seafeld last in. All in now. Ready for action in race 7. The red light is turned on. Favourite runs from the rails. And they're off and racing. Endorphins and Kokonotsu were the first 2 to go. This is so, comes outside that pair early. DAULAT Panaz is about 4th on settling down. There goes Love You Anytime ridden forward today. Bay Street midfield away, then Parallel, followed by Rock getting him one off the rail. In advance of Seafeld and the Love Rocket out towards the tail with Brave Boy. Heading down the back straight, 1,500 left to run. Leader, Kokonotsu, shows out from This Is So in second. To Love You Anytime progressed forward to third, but he's 3 wide into the process. The second favourite, Endorphins, lands in a good spot. 4th outside of DAULAT Panaz is 5th on the rail. 3 lengths away, Bay Street and Parallel keeping company together. 2 lengths to Rock on the outside of Seafeld. and the Love Rocket and Brave Boy, the last pair, 10 off the lead. 1100 from the judge, Kokonotsu. Ormond dictating terms for as long as possible, and the well-backed favourite heads off the back straight with a length margin over Love You Anytime in second. 2 to This Is So third, outside of DAULAT, PANAZIZ fourth the rail. 2 roughies racing together. 2 to Endorphins in Clear Air in fifth, but he's about 5 off the lead. Parallel saving ground on the inside, joining Endorphins now in midfield positions. Then came Bay Street, followed by Seafell being ridden along. Rocked was next, and still the Love Rocket and the Brave Boy, the tail end pair. By the 600 metres, and Kokonotsu's had a good run in front. There's no excuses. He'll lead them into the straight from Love You Anytime, and This Is So. Fourth DAULAT, PANAZIZ, Endorphins on the way forward. Rock follows him up, and Parallel getting a split between runners. In the straight now, 300 left to run, and Kokonotsu in full flight leads the way. He's hard against the rail. Parallel coming after him gamely. Endorphins are still running on. Wider was Rock, but Kokonotsu still in front. Parallel a length behind. Kokonotsu won the race greenly. The jockey pulled the whip. Parallel on the outside of danger. Kokonotsu, something in the locker. Rocked is running on late. Kokonotsu in front and won. Been either Rocked or Parallel, who just peaked late. The Love Rocket out wide. Then came Endorphins, and This Is So. Gaps to Brave Boy, DAULAT, PANAZIZ, Seafeld, and Bay Street last over the line.
Well, he's just got there, Kokonotsu, in front, rolling along at his own tempo. He waited Jimmy Orman as long as he could, and he was going straight. Then he did a bit of a dipsy doodle, 100 out, but he gets up to score. It's close for second. Rocked has charged home, and Parallel was there too. And then the Love Rocket back in fourth spot. But the favourite has got up. Kokonotsu, he was pretty much forced into the role of pacemaker as nothing else really wanted it. Love You Anytime strode around to sit up in second, but a nice patient ride has seen this guy get home. You can see him dipsy-doodling there at the 100 as Parallel looms to him. And then this one on the outside, Rock for Chris Meehan, has really stormed home, one to follow out of that. But Bernie, it's 3, 4, 7, 11. Kokonotsu wins again.
Yeah, he was great, wasn't he, Maxie? We're just looking at one of the owners here. What's your name?
Adam.
Adam. Can we get a shot at Adam's pants? And Adam said he's going to get Tony a pair of these pants. So you're going to look great in those, Tony. And I'm sure it's got, are you Irish?
No, my punters.
Ah, so, and we have a 4-leaf clover somewhere on there? Is it?
Just 3 leaves, but Tony said he'll bring the 4 if we get a Saturday win.
He will indeed. All right, Tony, let's have a chat about this horse, Kokonotsu. He had to do it, let's say, the hard way, because I'm sure you would have preferred not to be the leader today.
Yeah, we didn't want to lead, but I mean, we're probably always in a position where we may have to. That's how it panned out. He's still learning. When he comes off the bridle, he just wanders around a lot. Then they challenge him, and he finds another half a length or so. We saw him do that when he won his maiden here, and he was no different today. So, albeit the margin wasn't big, the win's probably better than what it looks for a horse that's still most certainly working it all out.
What are we planning down the future for this horse as far as staying races, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I think I can keep going out and trip with him. I mean, the lovely thing about him is that he has got some natural speed, so he can be handy. But if we ever get in a true run race where we could just come back a pair or two, you'll see a horse with a much better turn of foot. He's a really nice horse. I think it's just important that I place him well. While he's still not the finished product, we just keep picking off races with him, putting money in the bank and teaching the horse along the way.
Great idea. Well done, Tone.
Thank you, Bern.
All right, there he is, Tony Gollan. He's done a superb job with this horse. 3 bits, 4, 7, and 11. Richard?
He's got already?
Thank you.